This video is related to the modifications of the root system. Usually the root is assigned to absorb the water and the minerals, but sometimes other than the absorption of the water and minerals, the main functioning of the root performs different activities like storing of the food, providing extra additional support in case of prop roots, stilt roots which arise from the base of the stem, and also pneumatophores which help sometimes in breathing, parasitic roots sometimes which absorbs the nutrients from the host plant, for example dodder plant. Next we move on to the shoot system. In the shoot system, we know that the shoot system is nothing but stem. It develops from the plumule of the seed, same like radicle, and every shoot will have the nodes and the internodes. And when we look into what are the nodes are the places from where actually a new leaf can arise, a flower bud can arise, a branch can arise, like that. And the space between the two nodes, we call it as an internode. Other than that, on the shoots, we can also find there are axillary buds and terminal buds. When we look into what are the axillary buds are nothing but which are developed on the lateral sides of the stem or of the branch. And when we see a terminal bud or an apical bud, a terminal bud is always formed at the tip of the plant body. A terminal bud is always formed at the tip of the plant body. Next, the stem consists of the other parts. That is, when you look into the anatomy of the stem consists of xylem tissue, phloem tissue, parenchyma, collenchyma, and also sclerenchyma to certain extent. But majorly collenchyma also will be seen because the plant stems can bend in any direction, but they do not break in most of the cases. Only and until the winds are blowing very fast, then only we can see the plants are bending towards the ground. So that is because of the collenchyma tissue. And as usually we know that functions of stem, they bear flowers, fruits, they help in conduction of water and minerals and food through the xylem tissue and the phloem tissue. Next, let us look into the modifications of stem. Same like roots, instead of doing the regular function like taking care of transportation work, they do sometimes participate in other activities. So the different modifications are given. The modifications of stem is, first and the foremost modification is they are modified to store food. As roots, you have seen carrot and radish which were storing the food. Similarly, the stems are also storing the food. The stems which are present just below the ground. Just below the ground is, this is the area which is the ground region, and I can say that just the stem which is in this part, just in connection with the ground, that part of the stem will actually undergoes modification and starts preserving food. And when it is in a horizontal manner, when the stem has undergone a change and it started growing in a horizontal manner like this, we call that as rhizome. When the stem is modified and it is growing in a vertical manner, we call it as corm. We call it as corm. And when the stem is modifying into a vase shaped structure or a bulb shaped structure, we call them as bulbs. When the stem is bulging in a oval shaped structure, we call it as the tuber. So stem modifications as a root, even in stem, the very first modification is storing of food. As they are storing the food, they increase in size. When they increase in size in a horizontal manner, rhizome, vertical manner, corm, bulb shaped onions, tuber shaped, we have the potatoes. So let us look into the underground stems of potato, colocasia, ginger, turmeric store the food. Sometimes they also help in vegetative propagation. Stems, they help in vegetative propagation. Now you are seeing that from the stems the new shoots are coming. Even on the potatoes you will see the buds from where the new shoots will develop. A new shoot is developing here also. So stems are helping in the vegetative propagation. There is no need for us to wait for the formation of seeds, and through the seeds only the reproduction can happen. Next we have the tendrils. What are tendrils? They are slender, spirally coiled structures. They help the weak stemmed plants to climb. Sometimes the stem of the plants are very weak, so they fall onto the ground like this. But to make them to grow erect, the tendril need to be supported with any stick. They need one support. If man is growing the plants, he himself will put the sticks. But in nature, whatever they are finding in nature, in the natural habitat, wherever they are growing, whatever is the object they found, they try to encircle around that object. And these tendrils will help the plant to coil around the support which they are finding in the natural environment and try to grow erect. So here, as the tendrils are formed from stem, we call them as stem tendrils. We call them as stem tendrils. Examples: cucumbers, grapevines, bitter gourd, etc. Next we have thorns. Thorns are the woody, straight pointed structures which are formed on a stem. Okay, on the stem, instead of forming a leaf, so this is the petiole of the leaf, this is a leaf, and it sometimes this on the stem you can see the thorns like this. Example you can see in case of lemon plants, orange plants, rose plants. Rose also will have thorns on its stems, right? Next, bougainvillea. Bougainvillea is nothing but paper plant. When the leaves of the arid plant means what? The plants which live in the desert regions, or especially the plants which live in the regions where the rainfall is very, very scanty. The leaves become thicker, fleshy, green, and perform the photosynthesis. Here, this is the plant Opuntia, and you can see the flowers are blooming. And actually, whatever you are able to see in this picture, the green colored structure. This green colored structure is actually the stem. It is not the leaf. Usually the leaf will perform photosynthesis, but in Opuntia, the stem will perform the process of photosynthesis. It becomes thick, it becomes fleshy. Always gel will be present inside it. That is nothing but the water is stored in the form of gel and we call it as mucilage, or you can also call it as gel. Why the water is converted into gel? Because when they are living in the desert regions, due to high temperatures, there is a chance that water can be transpirated very fast. Water can be lost. To prevent the loss of water through transpiration, they convert it into gel. Example, Opuntia. Euphorbia plants will be like this. They will have a different type of stem structures in this manner. Euphorbia plants. Next we have, in case of grass plants, in case of strawberry plants, the stem on the subaerial part, it runs on the ground. The stem, it starts running on the ground like this. And on the ground you see the nodes. These are the nodes. These are the nodes. And wherever you have the nodes, you see the plant growing like this. The space between the two nodes is called as an internode. Space between two nodes is called internode. So wherever the plant is growing, that is the node. And such stems which are running on the ground, we call them as runners. Next, when we look into jasmine and mint plant, a slender lateral branch will arise from the base of the stem. If you concentrate here, this is the ground and these are the aerial stems. A stem is arising from the position which is just above the ground like this. Slowly it is growing and then again coming in contact with the soil. When it comes in contact with the soil, it starts developing the roots, and then the shoot. This feature we will see in jasmine plants in our garden. We can also make the plant to bend. As soon as you are seeing the stem which is coming out, which is called as subaerial stem. We call it as subaerial stem. You can bend. We ourselves can bend it in this manner, or else if you don't do it in the natural conditions also, as soon as it comes in contact with the soil, it starts developing the roots. Mint, we can see this. Jasmine, we can see this is happening. Next one is Pistia and Eichhornia. Pistia and Eichhornia are the hydrophytes. They are the hydrophytes. When I say hydrophytes, they are aquatic plants. They grow in water, especially they grow in lakes, fresh water. And Eichhornia is called as terror of Bengal. Eichhornia plant. This is Eichhornia plant. It is called as terror of Bengal. Terror of Bengal, because some years back, I can tell you that it in 19th century, it is not our Indian plant. It has been introduced into our country from some other area, from some other country. Into our lakes, it came accidentally, unexpectedly through the human beings, where the human being is also not aware that they are bringing this plant. It is called the terror of Bengal because as soon as this plant seeds have been introduced into the water unknowingly by the man, it started growing very, very fast, and within no days the complete lake has been covered with this plant. And the name was given Terror of Bengal because people were terrified, like what is actually happening in the lake from where this new plant has come. Next one is Pistia. These two plants also, they float on the surface of water, and similar to grass plant stem, the stem of these plants also will be present just below the surface of water. Just below the surface of water. We can't see the stem with our eyes. When you are watching it on the lake, we see only the arrangement of leaf like this. But where the stem will be there, just if I consider this as the surface of water, just below the surface of water you will find the stem, and on the surface of the water we will see the plant leaves which are arranged in the form of cabbage like structure in case of Pistia. And in case of Eichhornia, the plant leaf will have a very peculiar structure. It gives a structure like this, the plant leaf, and it also blooms in violet color in this manner as you are seeing. And the stem of this plant is also located underground. You can see only the leaf on the top. This is the water level. Below the water level we will watch the stem which is running in a horizontal manner like this, and the name is given to that as offsets. The stem of aquatic plants is called as offsets. It is called as offsets. So Pistia and Eichhornia, we have the offsets, and wherever the nodes are present, the roots will be there and a new plant also will be born. They reproduce very fast by this method of vegetative propagation. Next type of modification of stem is called as sucker. In sucker, as you can see here in the diagram, a branch from the underground, it emerges onto the ground like this, and it develops roots. Once the stem comes onto the surface of the plant, it develops the leaves. So sucker is an underground stem. Underground stem which comes onto the surface of the soil and starts growing like a new plant. It starts growing. So this one is the main plant,